Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for your attention. I'm sorry I'm not going to be singing like the previous stage, but I hope to get your attention still. I'm Jonathan Cohen from DuPont Company, and I would like you to introduce to you a new construction material for disaster risk reduction called Sentry Glass. It's a technology that can protect people and property from vandalism, natural disaster, and man-made assaults on building. Protecting people and property is more and more important because of the rise of three factors. As you all know, there is urbanization. More people are moving from rural cities, from rural area into cities, which make bigger event when, in case of disaster, bigger impact and more severe impact on people and property. There is extreme weather are becoming increasingly more frequent and more severe. Hurricanes, typhoons, tornadoes have become stronger and longer lasting. According to a study from National Geographic, the duration and strength of hurricanes have increased by about 50% over the last 3 decades. Terrorist attacks are also on the rise. Over the last 10 years, there have been more than an increase of 460% of terrorist incidents. All that create a need, a bigger impact on humans and capital and properties, which are more severe and have a bigger impact. So I'd like to introduce you a new construction material to manage this disaster risk reduction. Glass is a material more and more used in construction. Glass facades are becoming more popular in both public and private buildings because of their transparency, their aesthetics, their functionality. They're able to let the light in to get energy efficiency and also to help on the well-being of people. So glass is a great material. But standard glass is a large source of debris and flying debris in case it's broken. And it can cause major destruction, injuries, or death. And tempered glass is also susceptible to what we call spontaneous glass breakage. Based on temperature, glass can explode and hurt people in and around buildings. So in addition to that, during severe weather and bomb blast, flying debris puts building occupants, pedestrian, commuter, people in and around the building at risk and danger. And that's why it's critical to ensure that when the glass can resist impact and endure collateral damage. And when you laminate glass with DuPont Sentry Glass, it provides enhanced security and safety. It allows building to have maximum protection while maintaining aesthetic properties. And even when the glass breaks, the glass panels remain in place, preventing from intrusion, injuries, and all the glass shard will remain in place. I can show you a sample after, if you want, on a Sentry Glass between two pieces of glass. So with Sentry Glass, you can improve protection against bomb blasts. It reduces flying debris, people in and out the building, and property inside the buildings. Glass is typically the weakest link in building and the largest source of injury causing debris. When glass is applied with Sentry Glass, all the broken glass fragments remain intact and stick to the laminate, which is a first layer of protection. And inward flying glass shards are minimized, offering protection to building occupants. And because the laminate will remain in place, Sentry Glass provides also intrusion resistance against vandalism and other intrusion in the building once the building is broken. Sentry Glass also improve weather protection against severe weather, like hurricanes, typhoons, or tornadoes. Flying debris break through glass, creating an open space and allowing high winds and high pressure to enter the building. In smaller buildings, the roof are blown off, causing the structure to collapse. As you can see, you have a lot of debris being pushed into the glass. But when struck with flying debris, glass with Sentry glass interlayers breaks safely, and the fragment remain attached to the laminate. So it will remain a protective barrier that resists opening the building to wind and any times of pressure. It also reduces catastrophic failures caused by internal pressurization when wind can go into the building. Again, because Sentry glass can remain in place even when the glass is broken, it will prevent any damage from prolonged water exposure, mold, or vandalism, and people trying to enter broken windows in buildings after hurricanes, typhoon, or tornadoes. There are building codes in the world today that help set up some minimal requirements against earthquakes, hurricane, tornado, but most of them do not specify any technology. And there are a few regions in the world like Florida and the southern US coast where they put in place additional building codes and standards to really require all windows to be protected against wind and hurricane and impact. That enable to protect buildings and avoid big catastrophe as you had in the past. There is also no code today. There are some ISO standards for guidance on explosion resistance or also on other security impact, but there is no codes there. And so it's really the responsibility of each building owner, whether it's public or private, to decide if they want to have a protection against hurricane, typhoon, or tornado, or terrorist threat like bomb blast and other impact. And so we really encourage to have more building codes that require not only weather and explosion resistance, but also weather protection. And there is no codes today which require any protection against hurricane. I want to show you a few examples of building today built with Sentry glass for their properties, not only on protection but also on aesthetics. It can be, as you see, in museums, schools, hospitals, airports, courthouse, government building, office buildings, embassies. Just to show you some example, I'll share with you a quick movie introducing Sentry glass and showing some tests of different type of glass, standard glass and Sentry glass.
At DuPont, we understand that for glass products to be safe, they have to be strong. While tempered glass is stronger than regular glass, it can shatter when struck by objects or subjected to heavy loads. Laminated glass is built with a tough plastic interlayer, making it even safer than tempered glass. But until recently, even laminated glass wasn't as strong or as safe as it could be. Sentry glass adds stiffness and strength to the laminated glass to provide superior protection from breakage or collapse, above and beyond any other type of glass ever created. It is 5 times stronger and up to 100 times stiffer than conventional PVB interlayers.
Thanks to DuPont Sentry glass, today it's possible to build very beautiful and interesting structures that we could not have even imagined 15 years ago. The material has, in fact, opened a whole world in the world of creativity and increased enormously the possibilities for an architect like myself.
Glass can now be made with a more advanced safety layer, incorporating the latest DuPont science. For glass that can protect people more thoroughly, creating new possibilities in design and innovation. For glass that can open up brighter, more inviting spaces without sacrificing safety, security, or durability. For glass that can bear heavier loads than previously possible. To increase the protection, comfort, and beauty in the world we live in.
It's stronger, it's lighter, and it's safer. If you factor in the structural efficiency of that laminate using century glass, you discover that at the end it's cheaper than using conventional laminated glass products.
DuPont Century Glass is helping make our world a safer and more beautiful place to live, one building at a time. DuPont Century Glass. Safety glass made safer.
So you see the difference of different type of glass in this test. There is two actions just to close this this IGNITE session that I would like to challenge cities, government, NGOs to think about to make cities and buildings more resilient. The two actions is to require increased safety and protection in building codes and standards. So you can all impact standards and building codes in your area to require more protection against different threats. And you can also specify and show the example on the building that government, cities are building to specify high performance material and resilient material for buildings. Think about 3 areas where you want to protect people and properties. Glass has great benefit but has some dangers in standard glass. So think about broken glass because of impact or spontaneous glass breakage. Think about protection against extreme weather. There is a lot of codes today around hurricane in Southern America, but there is no codes in Asia for typhoon, in the Caribbean or Central America on hurricane, or tornado as we know. So think about this type of risk as well. And think about protection against man-made attacks. So we know embassies today and others are protecting themselves against bomb blasts, bullets resistance, vandalism, anti-intrusion, but any building can be prepared. And so I encourage you to continue the discussion and feel free to contact me for that. Thank you very much.